Where to start? Why don't we just start with what the hell's bugging me? I almost got into a fist fight yesterday, and I realized that I'm at the awful age of. It's basically anytime there's going to be a fist fight, I have these two options. A, I lose and get the shit kicked out of me, which really, there's no end to that. Shit kicked out of you could be I got a black eye, I lost a tooth, or it could be I'm in a coma and, the left side of my body doesn't work anymore. You know what I mean? You never know because you never know who you're fucking with, right? So that's option A. And option B is I win and then I get the shit suit out of me. Okay. I'm so fucking still pissed about this. I have to give you the abbreviated version of this because it's been eating me up inside. I was waiting for my girlfriend to come out of this diner. It's one of these places. There's only one way in and one way out. All right. So there's a parking spot way down, which is actually closer to the fucking diner. And this douchebag is sitting there because he sees my reverse lights on. So I'm waving at him to tell him to go by me so I can just back out of the fucking lot. And he's just sitting there. He wouldn't do it. So finally, I pull out real fast. It's like a gravel parking lot. Slam on the brakes, slide backwards, and then fly forward, slam on the brakes. So he pulls in, obviously knows I'm pissed, and I back up, and I put the window down. I'm like, dude, there's a fucking spot right up there. And then he immediately goes, oh, you're so tough with your hybrid. And he really caught me off guard, man. He got me with a great one. He went with the hybrid. My dick is bigger than yours because he's driving a fucking lime green four-door sedan that he looked like he borrowed from his fucking aunt, right? Oh, this guy, this fucking, you know what this guy looked like? Remember those coming-of-age movies in the 80s where there was the good-looking chick that the nerd wanted and she was dating this impossible asshole like that blonde-haired douche from Back to School who gets all intimidated in the end and fakes a leg injury after fucking a 90-year-old Rodney Dangerfield does a triple Lindy? That's what this kid looked like. All right, and he's going fucking blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, with your fucking tight shirt and your big nose, go fuck yourself. And he's like, and then he goes, go back to Jersey, you piece of shit. That's what he said to me, right? And I wanted to go like, dude, I'm not from New Jersey. But my girl jumped in and said something fucking, that a civilian would say rather than a comedian. So I actually started losing the argument a little bit. So then he turns around, and then I was just like, where you going? Where you going? Like I was actually going to fight him because I was so fucking mad. But in the back of my head, the whole fucking time, I'm thinking like, dude, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to this guy? When was the last time you had a fight? You're fucking 41. You're a year older than Brett Favre. What are you going to do? It's not even on level ground. It's in a gravel fucking parking lot. You know what I mean? I knew I could have, I swear to God, I know I could have fucking killed this guy. But I can't do it. I already, you know what would have happened? I would have fucking started fighting him. Even if I started winning, his girlfriend would have jumped on my back. And then if you do any sort of get off my back with the woman, I'm going to jail. It was this fucking stalemate. There was nothing I could fucking do. And then I'm driving home, and all I'm thinking about is how much I want to fucking kill this guy. And it got to the point I literally dropped my girl off, and I drove back to the diner, and his fucking car was still there. And I'm circling the diner in a hybrid. Waiting for this guy to come out, thinking about what I'm going to do to him, and then also reminding myself that I have not had a fight in about 20 fucking years. Okay? And then also reminding myself legally the ramifications for leaving and then fucking coming back. I am in no danger whatsoever, and I am going to get the living shit suit out of me. So fortunately, a friend of mine happened to call up, and I started telling her the story, and she was laughing her ass off. And she told the story of how some girl didn't hold the door. It was one of those really heavy doors, and it sort of slammed back in her face. And she said, thank you, sarcastically to her. And then the girl goes, what? I don't have to hold the door for you. Go fuck yourself. And how she just wanted to stick her Timberland through the back of this fucking chick's back, I guess. Look at me. I'm so fucking mad I can't even say simple anatomy. So I don't know. I was able to just kind of talk myself out of it. And the real thing was I didn't want to go back and fight the guy. I really didn't. You know what I mean? I really didn't. I did, but I didn't. There was just no winning. What was I going to do? You know, I got meetings this week. I'm going to show up with a loose tooth and a fucking, you know, nobody bleeds like a redhead. You know what I mean? I'm going to look like fucking Ric Flair walking in there. There was nothing I could do. I had to sit there and I think I actually lost the back and forth verbal thing, you know? I'm so fucking shot from being on the road. I just got off a flight. I wanted to go straight home. My girl's like, I'm hungry. Let's get something to eat, you know? And I made a mental note to be extra nice to my girl just because I've been an asshole lately, you know? Which is probably why I got into the argument to begin with. But I literally, there's a fucking reservoir or a lake, whatever the fuck you call it, near where I live. This is how mad I was. After my friend talked me out of not doing what I didn't even want to do to begin with, right? Not to mention he already had another guy with him. I would have lost. I would have fucking lost, right? So I had to go drive to the lake, park my car, and walk around the lake. And the first 90% of the walk around it, I was fantasizing about all the different ways that I was going to murder this guy. I had one where I was body slamming him onto his own fucking car, screaming some shit about hybrids. I completely, I haven't been that mad in so fucking long. And it wasn't until the last 10%, you know, I was kind of going you know, you really took this walk to try to forget about this shit. So what is wrong with you? You need to calm down. So I started to fucking calm down. And then I saw my car again and reminded me I was driving a hybrid, and it fucking pissed me off again. But dude, there's been one thing if the guy was driving a Corvette. You should have seen this car. It wasn't lime green. It was actually kind of a nice green. Okay, if I can actually extend an olive branch to this fucking cunt. But I mean, it was a four-door sedan. You know, there was no excuse at his age. You know, he was like in his 20s. There was no fucking excuse for him to be driving that car, or certainly talking shit, right? And also, I love that whole go back to Jersey, you piece of shit. And how he's the typical LA guy. You know, judging, you know, you are what you drive out here because I'm in a hybrid. Therefore, I don't know how to fight. And what you know, my car runs 100% on gas. Fucking bring Bruce Lee on, you know. What has he got, a rickshaw, you know? So the last 10%, I started to talk myself down. And it just so happened there was an open house out here. And there happens to be a zillion houses available out here because this state is bankrupt and we live in a city without a water supply, and they still want $1 million for a house that is about the size of a decent one-bedroom apartment. So hence there's a lot of open houses. So I actually went into the open house and looked at it and was thinking the entire time that if I had gotten out of the car and thrown the first punch, even if I won the fight, whatever down payment I would have had to actually get a fucking house, which is something I'd like to do at some point in my life, that would have been out the fucking window. And as much as it calmed me down today, it still hasn't made me feel any better. And there should be some sort of gentleman's agreement of I'm not going to sue you and my friends aren't going to jump in. Or maybe even go down to the gym. You just put the gloves on. So you can just get it out of you. Because I got to admit, it's still fucking in me. And I've been... this is how much of a cunt it's made me. And I'm trying to get rid of this little ball of hate that is in me. When I looked at the one house, right? And I felt better. And I'm like, I still need to look at another house. Because, you know, I'm still in a bad mood. And... I was driving up the street, and as I'm driving up the street, this white lady is waving her hands, telling me to stop. She has no uniform on or nothing. So I kind of, you know, I'm deliberately driving past her a little bit before I slow down because I'm a fucking control freak and I don't like people telling me what to do. So she comes up to my window and I go, "What?" And she's like, "A tree fell in the road around the corner. I just didn't want you to hit it." And I was just like, oh my God, I am the biggest asshole ever. I really am. You know what? If I'm really going to be honest with myself, the whole fucking reason I had that fight with that guy is because I'm in a grumpy mood because the last 7 out of the last 8 weeks, I've been on the road. All right? There. All right? I admit my fucking part of it. Oh, dude, you could have seen the way that guy was just standing there. That fucking shark fin of a nose of his coming out from those awful sunglasses. That's going to haunt me for another couple of days. But thank God I am a little bit older. And I actually know how my brain... I'm telling you, that's what being older is knowing how your brain works. Okay? Because the moment is gone. So now all I'm going to do is just walk around hating this fucking guy. So what I have to do is every time I think it, I just fucking think of something else. And I've been able to do it in my apartment, but when I get in my car, it's like a Vietnam fucking flashback. So I'm just going to give myself a week to get over it. And that's it. All right? So there's a story for you. That took a nice 12 minutes. My fucking voice is killing me. You know, I actually bought a book on how to fucking use your voice properly on stage. I should really read it. I do drink that throat coat fucking tea with honey now. That's how old I am. What I really should be doing is giving my voice a rest and shutting the fuck up rather than yelling about some dude who doesn't even matter in my fucking life. All right. Let's get on with the podcast. So this is the Monday Morning Podcast, everybody. If you're new to this, you're probably in some sort of, I don't know what mindset you would be in. This fucking ceiling fan's drying out my throat. That's what's going on. Isn't there something really intimidating about a ceiling fan? Do you ever not think that it's just going to come flying off the fucking ceiling and decapitate you? It's unreal how it just stays there. All right, so let's get on with the podcast questions and whatnot. Hey, here's a great thing. If anybody else has like had a confrontation like what I had, and for whatever reason you didn't have the fight, and you know what was funny when I was saying I was so mad, and I was telling Nia I have to go back there when I was dropping her off. She goes, "Just go back and slash his tires." Which really took me back to the whole revenge thing of how damaging somebody's car. I literally said that to her. I go, that's the bitch move. I could slash Chuck Norris's tires if he wasn't standing there and ruin his day. No, go back and fight the guy. Or just fucking, or don't. Go back and rip his antenna off like a fucking pussy. Fight or don't fight. Or take a walk around a lake and calm yourself down and admit to yourself that you're 41 years old and you probably had a fucking 50-50 chance of losing the thing to begin with. Oh, and I would have been on the ground with that gravel embedded in the side of my face. You know, just taking a boat shoe to the head. He didn't have him on boat shoes. He wasn't that bad. All right.